This is another kill of Telethia Endbringer, similar to some of the previous ones I've been showing, and in particular similar to the last one I showed. This is a on-foot kill using shop-bought weapons and armour. So this time I'm playing with my own character this time, and I'm using a Photon Saber and dual guns, which I bought from the shop, and I'm wearing a set of Meredith light armour that I have bought from the shop. I found this fight actually fairly easy. My main problem was just being able to do damage quickly enough, so it's fairly slow. Similar to the Celica kill that I did, I'm relying on Ghostwalker, so I Ghostwalker quite regularly, but different to Celica, I've got fast forward as well as 2 aura rapid cooldowns, so the cooldown on my Ghostwalker is almost 0, as long as I use a melee art before it, which makes it fairly easy. Resistances wise, I've got fairly high ether resistance again, because I've used the same armour, because I had to have a way of dealing with the spike in phase 2, which this armour deals with. The resistance would have dealt with it as well, so I could have used a different set, the same resistance, but I'm not sure if there is one. Or I could have used something without relevant resistances and got more augments for dealing with that spike, but I didn't like that idea. I've got, I think, 0 physical and 0 electric. I haven't got full ether resistance this time, so any unblocked attacks do some damage. An unblocked electric or physical attack would just straight kill me. An unblocked ether, as you see, those are some of the weakest ether hits. That laser, the multi-hit laser, I think it's called, doing 100 and something each. The other attacks do more. For damage, I'm using the 3-star full arts, as you see, plus early bird and primer to make them all do, basically all be criticals, as a way of boosting the damage a little bit. It didn't seem to be a good aura to use with the dual guns and Photon Saber combination other than that, so that's how I'm doing it. I couldn't get my damage output very high because I had to use basically all of my weapon augment slots for things that made the fight work. So an arts gain TP and overdrive count up, and I think 3 or 4 accuracy augments in the end. I found it very hard to hit, so I think it was 4 accuracy augments, as well as using Aura Assault skill to boost my accuracy further. I found I needed all of that. I tried with a bit less, and I got to phase 3 where Endbringer's accuracy goes up and wasn't able to hit him anymore. Yep, so with this setup throughout the fight, it is just a case of spamming the 3-star full arts and using Ghostwalker after any significant amount of attacks, whilst making sure I keep up early bird. Primer is less important, but my damage goes down a bit without it. I can also use it to gain TP if I need to. But yeah, it's a lot easier than the Celica fight. Because of fast forward, I think, particularly. I've also got secondary accelerator on, which helps more. So if anything, my damage rate's even slower. Its execution is just a very good art. The Photon Saber arts don't seem so good. Maybe I'm missing something it can do. I am new to the Photon Saber. I think this is basically the first fight I've used it for, other than a couple of warm-ups before. I hadn't used it before today that I can recall. I'd always heard it wasn't a very good weapon, and looking over the arts, I wasn't that impressed, but anyway, decided to do this, and it seemed to work. Yeah. I guess one difference is with Celica, I was able to put, I think, 3 potential up augments on her gear, or 2, which had a big impact on the executioner damage, whereas with this build I couldn't find any space for melee attack up because I had to use all the spots on accuracy. So similar to before, phase 2 is probably the time with the most chance of dying, just because there's so many attacks, and also in phase 1 they're all ether, and I've got some ether resistance, so if a hit gets through unblocked, I probably don't die from one hit. In phase 3, the only thing that will one-shot me probably is the Collider X, the electric move, whereas in phase 2 all of the physical attacks will one-shot me. The big massive misses on me are from the counter spike. So in phase 2, every time you hit Endbringer, you're meant to get hit straight back with a counter spike, but I've got more than 100 spike evasion, which comes on the Meredith shop bought armour. So those just do nothing other than throw lots of the words miss on the screen. They don't interact with Ghostwalker, which I'm thankful for, or this wouldn't work. The only reason for the Astral Purge there was to make fast forward apply to Ghostwalker. It's a good thing that the Photon Saber had 3 arts that do decent damage. You might wonder why I'm not using Phenomenon, as I am using an Ether Photon Saber. I didn't have any resistance reducers on. Maybe I could have put some resistance reducers on and then used Phenomenon and done almost double the damage. So actually that might be a way this could be done better. I assumed I didn't have space for them, but I might actually have done. Because I think I put some resistances I didn't need. And that's the end of phase 2. So that's the hard bit of fighting done. The next bit is flying up to. I was just filling my TP before I stopped. The next bit is flying up to Endbringer to draw him back down. I'm going to cut out most of the drawing down part because it's a bit dull. I'm going to spend ages flying around trying to get him to come down. Anyway, I fly up after him, shoot him once, and then fly down, get put to sleep and sent flying several times as I do it. The Scale's got enough resistances on that it's very unlikely to get killed, but it can get put to sleep, and that happened a lot, hence this is about to cut. So this was, I don't know, 5 to 10 minutes later. I'd hoped to get him down to the floor, but I'd given up on that at this point, and so I went for fighting on this spot. While you're trying to draw it down, it regens a lot, so it's got a lot of its health bar back. So get out, double activate overdrive, and go straight into Ghostwalker, because most of its attacks can do serious problems. So that Ether Storm could have knocked me flying if it wasn't Ghostwalkered, for instance. So if you've seen my Celica video, you'll know that at this point it has this massive decoy buff, and so you just have to hit it lots and lots and lots of times to make that go away. Well, throw lots and lots and lots of attacks at it, you can't hit it, that's the point. But it's counting each time that you try and hit it, similar to when you're using Ghostwalker and something's trying to hit you. And my Ghostwalker would run out, but as you see I do have some ether resistance, so it's not killing me straight away. So that's one of the weakest moves it has though. The other moves would cause problems, and also most of the other arts would have seriously detrimental status impact effects if I let any of the arts get, well, there are two arts that I can let through unblocked without having problems. That one, which wastes the whole Ghost Walker on its own, and that one. So I think it's the multi-ether laser and the ether shot. Those two arts just do a bit of damage and they're okay. With the resistance I've got, I can survive them. Every other art does something worse. So Collider X, I don't have the resistance for, so would kill me. Ether Storm can knock you flying or give your ether resistance down. And Sensitive Mind can put you to sleep. And there's another one I'm not sure the name, that can put you under control. So you lose control of your character for a while. So now I went back to the Ghost Walker again so soon after it because the multi-ether laser had just wiped it out. So the Ghost Walker only gets half cooldown from fast forward there. That means the aura had run out, and I hadn't noticed, hence the redoing of early bird afterwards. And we're still not through the buff. So it's got half its life back from the regen. This bit, and there we go, we're in. I was about to say this bit's quite tedious, but we did then get in. Not sure what the pause was there. I haven't been moving. I was quite worried that I'd fall off, because if I fell off this little ledge I'm standing on, the fight would basically be over. It's possible to pull it down to the ground by running around down there, but it's very, very hard. It often will come down into gun range maybe, but to get it down into sword range, or saber range in this case, yeah. It's almost not worth trying, I think. You can do it with a scale, but even then it's hard and tedious, hence why I'd given up and gone here. Yeah, my scale is parked up here, so if I fall down, you can't climb back up. So I'd be stuck running around hoping it would follow. I'd thought this would be a quicker kill than Celica's, but in the end, I don't know. I think Celica had a longer phase 2. I think this is definitely a longer phase 3 though. I think I remember saying in Celica's video that I thought that going to phase 3 of a melee weapon would be very difficult, and that's what I'm showing here. It's just that it regens so much before you can cut through the decoy, and then it starts decoying again. Or in this case, I think it didn't start decoying again. My early bird ran out, and as I'm relying on the skill Aura Assault to be able to hit, that meant I couldn't hit. So the purpose of this video was to demonstrate that the shop makes a perfectly usable Photon Saber, and you can handle the end game and the post game with a shop bought Photon Saber if you want to. And whilst this is a rather lengthy fight, considering this is in theory the toughest super boss, it's the highest level enemy in the game, and I've not used a single piece of farmed weapon. I've not used a single piece of farmed armour or a farmed weapon. I'm using 7 pieces of equipment bought from the shop. I think this is reasonable. So I was just running back again there, so I was worried I was near the edge. And again, lost my aura. But the decoy buff is up, so I just need to keep spamming attacks for a while. At some point I realised the better option would be just to go back and forward between Starfall Rondo and Starfall Blossom, because they're the higher hit arts, and it's not as if I need to wait for the tertiary during the decoy buff. Oh, Ghost Walker's gone. Not sure why I bothered with Primer there. I guess I'm just being optimistic and hoping that I'm about to break through. Here we go. So here's the faster way, because these are the two highest hit arts. Oh, getting too close to the edge again. There's no reason to do them tertiary when I'm just trying to break through decoy. And we're in. So it's not the best, doing sort of between 10,000 and 20,000 damage per hit generally, but it does the job. Could push it a lot higher if you didn't need all the accuracy. I've used, as I said, I think I've used 4 slots on accuracy augments, which could have been damage increaser slots if there wasn't such a high accuracy requirement for the fight. It may be possible to do a phase 1 Photon Saber kill, to do it very quickly, but I don't think you could do that with the shot bought one. I think I'd need a farmed one for that, with some relevant traits to boost the damage higher. Could be wrong. I'd need to use psycho launchers or ray gun, I think is the other option, to get an aura that boosts. Actually no, I'd specifically need to use psycho launchers. So the only weapon that has an aura that boosts melee attack. Other than, well, no, there isn't even a melee weapon with such an aura, as far as I know. So if you don't have an offensive aura from your melee weapon, so if you're using the longsword, you have offensive stance, which is a brilliant offensive aura for melee attacks. It doesn't boost melee attack stat like Dual Dynamo does, but it boosts the damage even more than doing that does. But if you're not using a longsword and you're using a melee weapon as your main weapon, and you want to do a high amount of damage, I think you pretty much have to use psycho launchers. Unless you're doing an ether-based attack, and then you can use something else that will boost ether, perhaps. So yeah, so with Psycho Launchers for Dual Dynamo, and a stack of attack augments and a little bit of luck on the accuracy. Maybe using Full Metal Jaguar for higher accuracy, perhaps I should have tried that. I didn't. I'm playing as a Bastion Warrior here, which has the highest base melee attack stat. It might have been better to be a Full Metal Jaguar, a bit of accuracy, and then see if I could use a melee attack augment instead of one of the accuracy augments. Not sure if that would have worked or not. Anyway, with a bit of luck on the accuracy, a stack of melee attack augments, and Dual Dynamo from Psycho Launchers, it might be possible to do a quick phase 1 kill. To do that, you have to do its full. You have to take it from. You can take as long as you like, going from 0 to about 2 million damage. You have to go from 2 million damage to 10 million damage in seconds, or it turns invincible and goes to phase 2. The other option could be to do a phase 2 kill. Do damage slowly in phase 1, send it to phase 2. Well, do damage at whatever rate in phase 1, basically send it to phase 2, and then in phase 2 go from, you can take as long as you like going to 6 or 7 million damage. You have to go from 7 million to 10 million in seconds to skip out phase 3. Again, to do that you need a lot of melee attack up. And yeah, unfortunately it brought the decoy back up right at the end, so it's a slight delay finishing off. But yeah. So my Mim has had a go at being a Jedi, basically, dodging everything and attacking with a beam of light in his hand. Not quite sure what he thinks of it. Not my favourite weapon, but it does the job. And I think this is about to be the kill. No, I've lost my aura, so I'm just going to rebuff. Got to bring back the Ghost Walker. Don't want to die at the last moment. So just spamming the arts, not bothering waiting for the cooldowns because I was just trying to cut through the decoy, but now I'm through. So now I wait for the tertiaries and try and do the damage. Just have to pause briefly for Ghost Walker. And there we go, that's the kill. And bring her down with Shotbot, Photon Saber and dual guns. And I'm trying to zoom in on my character to show the gear, but it's not working very well. The spike in front of him blocks the camera a bit. Anyway, let's have a quick look at it. So, Shotbot, dual guns and Photon Saber neither had relevant traits on. I was hoping the Nullify Ether Reflect X on both of them would count as an XX, but it didn't, so I had to get a separate one. 4 accuracy augments, as you saw, overdrive count up and arse game TP. Shotbot, light Meredith armour. The anti-spike's very useful, as is the ether resistance. Resistant augments probably weren't needed. Maybe could have replaced those with resistance reducer and used the Nolomon for more damage. Other than that, max TP up was there as well, and the aura rapid cooldowns that were how I was doing all the arts so fast. And the arts early bird and climb were boosting my damage, as you saw. Fairly simple. Aura assault for accuracy and damage, core crusher for damage, fast forward and secondary accelerator to keep everything going fast. Bastion warrior, as it has the highest melee attack stat. So, all shop gear, Photon Saber and dual guns, and Bringer goes down. Hope you enjoyed. Bye.